Hey, what's up, guys? Andrew here, and this is my first, as you can tell by the title, this is my first random review. For my first review, I kind of wanted to just start off with something that I'm very familiar with, that you guys may not either understand why I like it, because it's the beginning of September. And there's really not really, like, October is going to be coming around soon, so the Halloween reviews, the Night of the Demons reviews, the Goblin reviews are going to be coming in very soon. So that's going to be something that pretty much gets. I'm actually thinking of doing, by the way, like 31 days of Halloween, where I do a review every single day of a different movie. Which that'll be coming, next month. But for today, I wanted to do something that I'm familiar with, something that's dear to my heart, just off the top of my head, nothing new that I bought. That'll come like next week. But for today, I'm going to review My Soul to Take. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because of my top three films, or really four films. I mean, you got like Halloween 2, The Exorcist, My Soul to Take, and you got Scream. All of those are really just like the three of them. Like, you got like Scream and, all those other ones where like those are pretty well known. And Halloween, obviously, I'll be reviewing in October, so will I review The Exorcist in October. So this one really doesn't really have an October feel. It's really like springtime type. So I kind of wanted to review this, here, and just to start off to explain why I like it and everything. So yeah, sorry for the long intro. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'll just get right into talking to movies after this. But just to explain why, next week there will be a random review. So like, it'll be something probably that I have bought. So, yeah, and with that being said, I'll get right into the plot here. My Soul to Take basically takes place, you have an intro scene where the killer, known as the Ripper, is an actual serial killer in this town of Riverton. And he is just killing people, and you can tell that he's killing people because of this knife here that says vengeance on it. And basically with all that, like, he gets, all this scene happens, like he gets, shot and captured, taken in an ambulance crashes, and the night that all this stuff happens to him, 7 children were born in one, at the same time. So it's this kind of, so you fast forward 16 years later to all their birthdays, and you kind of get the sense that there's this urban legend developed that basically all 7 of them inherit the 7 characteristics of all of the personalities that the killer's name was Abel Plankov in their real lives. So they pretty much have a couple of different urban legends, and you hear them tell different stories at the beginning of why Abel Plankov, like, where he is, that he's still alive, that he's haunting Riverton, all of these things. And every year the kids pretty much have this ritual where they drive Abel back into the river, so as to like kind of like keep him away type thing. So with that being said, that's pretty much the plot. Then becomes that after all that, like all the 7 of them start getting killed off one by one, and you have some typical stereotypical like teen characters in this movie. You got like the hot chick of Brittany. You got like the mean bitch of Fang. You got the innocent Bug. You got the best friend in oh man, I can't remember his name now. Man, that'll come back to me. anyways, yeah, with that being said, as you all know, this is, that's pretty much the plot of it. Now, it is now it has layers upon layers upon layers. It's a supernatural movie, it's a slasher movie, it's a supernatural slasher movie. It's got all these random things from random different cultures. You got like this, there's like a, a lot of mythology built into this. It's got a lot of layers to it, and if you don't actually pay attention, and honestly it took me probably about 5 or 6 times to really start getting what the movie was like doing with it. So it's a very confusing watch if you just watch it once. I do recommend watching it 2 or 3 times. But yeah, like I said, it's written and directed and produced by Wes Craven. So this is his movie. Pretty much most of the movie is what he wanted. And yeah, like it had a $25 million budget, and I think it only grossed like domestically. It only grossed like 13 million. I want to say it really did awful at the box office, but I want to say it maybe grossed, like 25 million, around the same, that it cost for the budget, worldwide. But I don't know. I didn't see this in its original theatrical run. This was still at the time, this was in 2010. This was still whenever I wasn't like all on board of like every horror movie that came out. I only watched like the Screams. Like I did go to see Scream 4 when it came out. I went to see the new Friday the 13th when it came out. I didn't go to see the new Nightmare on Elm Street because I wasn't really that much of an Elm Street fan. The Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one, I went to see in theaters. Like that. It wasn't really until 2013, 2014 that I really I'll go see pretty much any horror movie that comes into theaters now. But yeah. This one for me, to get into my review of it, this one to me works on pretty much every level. I have such an enjoyable time with all these characters. Like, the things, like, for me, Wes Craven takes all these stereotypical conventional characters and adds layer to them. Like, Fang becomes the sister of Bug and is the way she is because of the night that Abel Plankov like died, and there's all this mystery behind Bug's past. And so you take this innocent character and you add layers to him, and then you add this mean bitch and you add layers to her. And then you got Brittany, who, is the stereotypical hot chick, but she's also really nice, and she's really nice she's pretty nice to Bug. I mean, she's, and you kind of add layers to, you kind of add layers to her, because, it's hinted at, and it's definitely like, it's definitely hinted at that she has a crush on Bug. There's this underlying, like, thing there. And, yeah, and the best friend, which again I still can't remember his name. Yeah, still can't remember his name. He is the best friend, but he's also like got all these like weird, quirky personalities. And then there's the Tyrone, who's the black kid who is blind, and he's got this he's just got this like lively personality that it's just incredible what the liveliness that he brings to it. And then you got the religious chick, Penelope, who like she's like really religious and says all these, I mean, Wes Craven like nails it with her character and saying all these just intentionally hilarious things, like if things get too hot, just turn on the prayer conditioning. That is just hilarious. It is so stupidly funny. And just different things like that, where if you take the prototypical stereotypical slasher movie, everything in this, like the way I described it, some of it just seems like it would be your own stereotypical slasher movie, but then you got this supernatural element of like, is the soul of Abel Plankov living on in these people, and you got all this like, it's very based on Eastern religious like mythology type things. And it's just fascinating to me that he just like takes this basic slasher formula with these basic slasher characters, adds layers to them, adds a lot of fun scenes with them. Like even like the stereotypical like jock, like dick character of Brandon. He pretty much is like he's pretty much the only character who doesn't really get many layers added to him, although he is also like, yeah, like he knocked up the principal's daughter, so like he's got that to hide type thing, and he just, you know, but like even like his scenes are all for laughs, and like it's just interesting the way that they bring in like. And then Bug has this like obsession with the California condor, and he does this show and tell thing, and that to me is one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie, where he's just gliding in and out and the camera follows it and stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's just like creepy and fun at the same time, and it's just got this awesome atmosphere to it. But yeah, like I think this is really well directed, it's well shot, it's definitely pretty decently acted. All the teens do a fine job. Yeah, it's just got this like layers to it to me that just makes it like way above your average slasher movie, like way more complicated than your average slasher movie. And to me, ultimately, I think that's why this film doesn't really get that. Isn't really that well liked, because it's just so damn complicated. And there's like, I mean I could bring any 80s slasher movie and just be like, it's teens getting stalked and slashed, and it's fun, and it's got creepy parts, and it's got cool kills. This one doesn't really have, and you know, Wes Craven really doesn't have that many films where he's known for his kills. He's just known for his atmosphere and his characters and his themes. And this one to me has like a very personal theme. And also, by the way, this is, if you didn't know this already, this is partially a reflection of Wes Craven's like life. So pretty much it's got a little bit of autobiography in it. Like the father of the best friend, he's just this mean person where you just kind of fear him the whole movie. He's partially based on Wes Craven's own father, where Wes Craven didn't really know a whole lot about his father. And then you got the whole underlying theme of the movie is basically Bug, so I keep saying Doug. Bug is a like innocent, so it's said over and over in the movie, Bug is innocent, and then like all of a sudden, like towards the end of the movie, he becomes not innocent anymore, and also that he's like receiving the souls of the friends who get killed off, so he's absorbing their good and bad traits, and it makes him not innocent, but it also makes him able to do the things that happens at the end of the movie. I'm not going to spoil the ending, not going to spoil the killer, but it's not Bugs. You could probably already guess that. But yeah, it's just that theme, that whole theme is based a lot on Eastern religious mythology type things. And it also like, it's just a fascinating like. And also, that's also what Wes Craven thinks is an underlying theme of his own life. Where when he was growing up, if you don't know much about Wes Craven's life, he grew up in a very fundamentalist Baptist church, and he was never allowed to watch movies. You know, it's just that typical, like, it's just the worst you could think of that. Like, the strictest you can think of. Pretty much just grew up fear of everything. Sort of like the Penelope character type thing. That's kind of what his mom was like. So that was kind of like a, you know, one of those things. And then it wasn't until he got into college and actually grad school that he started to explore different things, and he lost his innocence in a sense, that he kind of was able to actually fully grasp what life is. So in his own, you know, in his opinion, you know, when he was able to break free from fundamentalism, he was really able to see the world for what it truly was, lost his innocence, he was able to accomplish what needed to be done. And it's the same in this movie. Bug was innocent, and until he loses his innocence, he's not able to do what's needed to be done in this movie, and not as wise as he was before. So it's a fascinating way he goes about doing it, and to me, I think it really works. I think I really like all the characters. I mean, Emily Mead does such a phenomenal job as Fang, and I think, man, I have such a fun time with Max Terriot. He just is great, and I mean, you know, you get this Wes feel about it, you know, and I think it's just a Wes Craven movie, and I think that he makes a lot of films where it tended to be like you really hated it or you really loved it. Curse is another one. Shocker's another one where people just don't really care for it. Serpent and the Rainbow is another one where people just either tend to love it or really not care for it. Yeah, he makes quite a few of those films, you know, not just later in his career, but, you know, earlier. But yeah, this one here is a 10 out of 10 for me. I really can't say much bad about it. I mean, the only thing I could say is that the kills aren't that great. I mean, that's the thing. Like pretty much all the kills actually take place with the knife, and it's the same, stabbed. You know, it usually involves a jump scare. However, you know, it only works so many times. It's not overly scary. So if you're looking for, you know, a really scary film, it does have some eerie scenes to it. So, I mean, with all that being said, I think that's all that I'm going to say for this. But yeah, I give this a 10 out of 10 for me. It's an A+. I absolutely just love this film. Yeah, and I'm going to stop there before I continue on. I could go on and on and on about this movie. I've read so much about Wes Craven's life, my favorite director. You know, and I mean, that's, you know, I could say so much more, but I'll just leave it there for now. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you like this. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And let me know, you know, your opinions on the movie, your thoughts on, you know, anything I had to say, anything. Yeah, thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Not sure what I'm going to review next week. Probably a new movie, maybe Pumpkinhead, maybe Puppet Master. Yeah, I have so many that I could review. But yeah, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Have a great week.